Alright, guys, this is my temple. I highly recommend that in every one room of your house, you make yourself a quote unquote temple. It is a sacred place where you go. You basically create a sacred sphere. And you do this by drawing the quarters. So, for instance, this is the east. You can tell that it's the east because if you look up to the sky, you can clearly see there's a bright ass sun right there. And it's 10:37. So we know the sun sets or rises in the east and sets in the west. And we also know that everything is a mirror, a reflection. So just like all of the cells make up your body, all of the cells of our bodies make up a bigger organism. And just like even the planets and the stars are merely just cells of an even bigger cosmic organism, and so on and so on and so on. But anyways, I'm rambling. To start with, you have to create your sphere. And you do that by drawing your quarters. So you know this is the east. And if any of you have been paying attention, we know that the east is air. And air is signified by yellow. So we have the east. And then you travel clockwise to the south. And you see that south is fire. And fire is represented by red. And then you travel to the west. And you see that you are in water. And water is signified by blue. And finally, you travel clockwise to the north. And the north is signified by green. And then you go back to, of course, the east, where it all begins, completing a circle and symbolically casting your circle while drawing the four quarters, signifying the four elements around you, signifying that without you, with outside of yourself in this temple, there are four particular energies. There is the east air energy. There is the south fire energy. There is the west water energy. And there is the north earth energy. And in the center is you. Because you are the center of that sacred sphere. So you have all these energies inside of our bodies. And that's the thing people may or may not realize. Every single person has earth energy inside of them. Those are the people that are really stubborn. You can't tell them anything, but they're also very independent and they don't need help from anybody. They can do shit on their own. Now, there's people that have a lot of it, and there's people that don't have any of it, and they have no backbone. They're like jellyfish. But the point is that people you know and people yourself, if you actually look at yourself and are honest with yourself, have a certain amount of earth energy within you. And then you move over to here, and you see that this is blue, this is water. And water is your emotional side. And these are the people that can be really depressed and melancholy. And some people like to say I'm an empath. But on the other side, they also can be very intuitive. They can be insanely creative. They can be some of the best shoulders to cry on because they're literally just a cup of water and they just absorb all of the energy that you are feeding into them. And, like I said, everybody has certain qualities of that water energy. Um, and depending on if you have too much or too little, that's the kind of, personality you might reflect. And then, of course, you have the South, which is fire. And fire is very easy to see. You know these people. They're hot-headed. They get angry quickly. Um, they some might say they might be bullies, anger management. But then on the other side, they might be some of the bravest people you know. They might have they might have the courage to run into a burning building and rescue that kid when everybody else is scared and wants that kid to be safe. But oh my God, what are we going to do? Well, that guy, that bully, that mean guy with all that fire and anger, he doesn't think about it. He doesn't have his feelings. He goes. Fire is all about action. It's about passion. It's about just doing. Fire moves. The element of fire is always moving. It's always consuming. It's always moving. Now, the people that have a lot of fire in them, they get angered easily. They do things without thinking, but they also aren't scared. They also they're not afraid to take action. And then you have the yellow, which is the air. And air is all about the thoughts. And these people, the people with a lot of air energy, they're very analytical and technical. They like to, talk nerd speak, some people might say. Might go over a lot of people's heads. But yeah, their whole thing is they have a lot of thoughts. They have a lot of air energy. And so that's what they tend to focus on. They're the ones that can be kind of considered robotic. You could possibly call them the Sheldons of the world from The Big Bang Theory. So the point of all this is that the reason people are the way they are is, there's medical problems, there's this, there's that, blah, 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 blah. But the bottom fucking line is that everything equates to much more. But let's start very simple and basic for you very and simple, basic people. No offense. But everything equates to 4 different things. And that includes us as a person. Because as above, so below, and as within, so without. And just as there are the 4 pillars of the 4 elements that hold up creation, there are the 4 pillars of the 4 personalities that hold up us, our personalities, our egos. And the point is, you sit in this chair, you become the center of this sacred sphere. Okay, so the thing you gotta realize is, it's a very slow process, right? Now, to give you some perspective, I am still quite new to this in the grand scheme of things. I've been doing this for roughly 2 years. And the first year, you don't even start with any element. The first year would be you guys. It would be, will he even show up to practice? Will he even come to work? Will he even get off his ass and sit in that stupid chair for 30 minutes every day and do these boring things that are only supposed to teach you how to sit still, shut up, close your eyes, and focus? That's all it is. You don't get to do any fun stuff for the first year. The first year is all about just shutting up. Yeah, you can't shut off your mind, obviously. Even now I can't do that. But you just have to shut up and focus on something. You have, or at least try to. It's the beginning. But anyways, in the second year. The second year is Earth. And that's when you start thinking about your Earth energy, And me, I am a Capricorn. My sun sign is a Capricorn. And so, yeah, I have a lot of Earth as well. And so I'm already earthy. And so this one was interesting for me because I'm already, I can be stubborn and blah, 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 blah. Well, the point is, so yeah, you go through that, you go deep inside yourself, you actually look at yourself and see the things, the ugly sides of you, the ugly earth elementals that run wild in you chaotically with no moral compass, that are just earth elementals being earth elementals to their extreme. So yeah, the worst parts of you, the stubborn, the lazy, the sloth-like, the very, vain, jealous of their possessions, just the worst qualities of the earth energy of people. And you bring those to light, and through ritual and meditation and practice, you draw the light into those elementals and you purify them while thus purifying your own earth elementals, because like I said, as above, so below, as within, so without. And then you move on to the next, which is air, which I'm currently doing. Then you move on to the next, which is water. Then you move on to the next, which is fire. And then eventually you take all of these purified elements / personalities / parts of yourself that are now purified, and then you draw them into yourself, thus creating a pure version of yourself, and thus actually allowing you to move on to the very first part of the actual real process. And that in itself is the fun part, because all of this transformation is just the beginning to set yourself up for the very beginning of the real stuff. And that is what this is, which I'm not even going to get into, but I'm not even at that. I'm literally just setting that there as per instructed, with real no idea of what its real importance is. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys some information. So anyways, that's all. Thank you.